What's going on, everybody? Christopher Lopez here with the Beast Life 24/7 podcast. This is episode number 6. Before we dive in, I'm super fired up today, as you guys can probably tell. Before we dive in, I want to remind you to go to iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, or Anchor, or even YouTube, and subscribe to this podcast. YouTube is obviously in video format. Either way, you're going to get updates on when I post new episodes up. A lot of good information for guys who want to take their life to the next level. We live in a society of men who are weak, and I think a lot of it has to do with what we're being fed on social media and how we're being raised. And my goal is to help you guys get what you want out of life, put the effort in, grab your balls when it gets a little tough, and to go for what you want regardless of what comes your way. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, go to any one of those media streams. Subscribe to the podcast. There's going to be a ton of new episodes going up on a regular basis. And let's dive right in. So episode 6, what we're going to cover today is guys that piss me off. Not necessarily, but just people that don't get the most out of life, right? Because there's always some other underlying thing going on. There's always some excuse. There's always a reason why they can't have what they want. There's always a reason why they can't set goals and stick to it. There's always a reason why, stuff gets in the way. So what we're going to do is cover a few scenarios of guys who kind of know what they want, but they don't necessarily get it because of whatever reason. So we're going to cover those reasons today. So I own a gym, right? And you guys probably know that. And I get every excuse in the book as far as why people can't work out. They say they want to work out. They say that they mean well. They say I want to get in shape. And then when the rubber hits the road and they actually have to put the time in and they actually have to do something that's uncomfortable, they flake out. All right? And this happens all the time. I hear people say, I'm going to join your gym, but I'm going to get in shape first. I'm going to go to the gym on my own a little bit, and then I'm going to join once I'm in shape, because it looks like I need to be in shape to join your gym, which is not necessarily the case. People join here all the time that are not in shape, and we get them in shape. That's why it's a gym. That's what we do. But I think the underlying theme with that guy who says things like that is that they are just not ready. They know it's going to be a commitment on their part. They know that it's going to take time and effort, and it's going to take time away from things that they enjoy, and it's going to be a grind. I mean, one of the things I get all the time is when somebody say they can't make it in. The times don't work for me. The schedule doesn't work for me as far as when I can train. And I say, well, what time do you wake up in the morning? Oh, 6, 6:30, 7 o'clock. I said, well, come train at 5. No, that's too early. That's too early. Well, the bottom line is you don't want it bad enough. I mean, anything worth doing, you're going to have to wake up early and stay up late. I mean, last night, example, right? Last night, I made it a point to post as frequently as possible, even if it's every day, on the blog, my training blog, jerseybeast.tv, and my new podcast blog, beastlife247.com, on a daily basis. I got home, I worked out twice yesterday, 20-minute workouts, 30-minute workouts. I got home around 10 o'clock, 10:30. I got something to eat, and I got to work. And I didn't get to bed until 1:30, quarter to 2, and I had to be up at 4:30, the latest, to get to the gym by quarter to 5 to coach at 5 a.m. So I don't want to hear the excuses. I don't want to hear you can't wake up. I don't want to. You have to understand that anything worth doing is going to be uncomfortable, and you're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit. I mean, I've been married for 3 years, and some of the sacrifices I've made since I've been married, it's by choice, but my time is dedicated to things I want now. I mean, I used to be a huge Giants fan. Okay, I was a huge Giants fan. I'm still a Giants fan, not as big as I used to be. I can't tell you how many full games I've watched over the past 3 or 4 years. Probably 2 Super Bowls, that's it. I have not watched a full football game in probably 3 or 4 years. The reason being is that Sundays are a family day. And I would rather spend time with my daughter, and I'd rather spend time with my wife than watch football all day. Because number one, it's a waste of time. You're sitting on the couch, vegging out, you're not really accomplishing anything. And if I could take that time and do things with my family, I mean, we've been going to church, and we've been doing activities with Mia on Sundays. And that's our family day. And we take the day to unplug and try and stay off our phones and get back to what it means to be rooted at home. So that said, I don't want to hear it's too late. Don't be the guy that says, oh, it's too early to do that, especially when it comes to the gym. On the flip side, don't be the guy that says, oh, it's too late to do that. Oh, it's too late. I get home, I'm tired. Don't give me that you're tired. I'm fucking tired too. You know what I mean? Everybody's tired. Everybody's got something going on. They may not vocalize it. They may not tell you that they have something going on, but everybody has some shit that they're in at the moment, right? Everybody does. Now, there's varying degrees of how bad it is, but everybody's got some issue. If people waited until their issues were resolved before they took action and did anything with their lives, we would live in a world full of failure, okay? But there are people that make it happen regardless of what their situation is. Doesn't matter where they come from. Doesn't matter what kind of schooling they've had. Doesn't matter what kind of experience they've had. Doesn't matter if people think that they're qualified to do things or not. Qualification is a funny word. I mean, am I qualified to do a podcast? No, but I do it anyway because I like it, right? So the idea here is that it's never too early or too late to do what you need to do. But most people don't because they're just simply not ready. They're just simply not ready. They're not ready to make the commitment. We get people here, they sign up for a month trial, and then they disappear after the first class. I reach out to them, where you been, this and that. Oh, something came up. Like, you told me our first meeting, you wanted to drop 25 pounds. It ain't going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in one session. Like, you have to put the time in. Same thing with nutrition. You want to drop 25 pounds, you want to gain 10 pounds of muscle, you got to put the time in. You got to eat right. And this goes with anything. Your preparation is key. You have to prepare yourself. Mentally, even mentally. If you're not prepared mentally for what the tasks are ahead of you, you're not gonna get anywhere. Because when it starts to get tough, you're gonna put your tail between your legs, and you're gonna put your head down, and you're gonna let it run you right over. Don't be that guy. Next person that pisses me off. The guy that says I want to, or I would, but. Anything that comes after that word but is an excuse. I don't care what it is. I don't want to, but my dog is sick. I don't want to, but I didn't sleep last night. I don't want to, I would, but I'm hungry. I'm going to go get something to eat. I would, but. So you have good intentions. The intentions are there, but you just don't want it bad enough to get it done. Very simple. Very, very simple. Don't be that guy. If you approach me with a sentence like that, I'm just gonna turn and walk away from now on. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. Stop lying to yourselves and saying that you want to do things, but your actions say something completely different. If you're not ready to work out, don't tell me you're ready to work out. Say it's not the right time right now. Fine, great. You know what I mean? And here's the thing too, it pisses me off. That doesn't bother me, right? It doesn't bother me that the person speaks to me like that or says something like that to me. But what bothers me is that you are lying to yourself. You have to get out of this way of speaking to yourself. You're kind of like you're justifying the excuses to yourself. You're never going to accomplish anything if you keep doing that. Keep going down that path. You know. Next person that pisses me off is the person that needs constant recognition. If you are somebody that needs consistent 24/7 recognition, you will fail. You will fail. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why you will fail if you need constant recognition is because at some point in life that recognition is going to stop. Great, you're working out. You're posting it on Facebook. Fantastic. I'll tell you what, you keep posting the fact that you're working out every day on Facebook, people are going to stop liking it, right? And if you're doing it for the likes, or you're doing it for the attention, or you're doing it for a pat on the back, when that stops, are you going to stop? Because the reason you're doing it is not a real, justifiable, concrete reason. What's it going to be? You have to get past the fact that you need constant recognition. You will fail. Sad but true. One way to figure out how to get past that is being attached to a concrete, rooted reason why. Right? We've talked about this in other episodes, but it comes back every time you talk about goals. You can't talk about goal setting, and you can't talk about taking action and doing what needs to be done, and waking up early and staying up late and cutting out the excuses after the word but, and the need for constant recognition if you're not rooted in the reason why you're doing it. And the reason should not be dependent on other people, or to please other people, or to make other people happy. Like if you're a young kid and you're coming out of college and you're picking up a job to make your parents happy, make your dad happy because your dad held a certain job and he wants you to hold a certain job because it's family tradition. Fuck that. If you're not happy with it, you don't do that. It's tough. It's a tough conversation you got to have with your parents, but it's just something that needs to be done. It's just something that needs to be done. You cannot base what you do on the feelings of other people, the recognition factor. Okay, you just can't. You just can't. The last guy that pisses me off is the guy that says, you owe me, right? You do something nice for somebody or they do something nice for you, and they say, oh, well, you owe me because I did. You know what? I don't owe you shit. You don't owe me anything. I don't owe you anything. Nobody owes you anything. If you're doing stuff where you're trying to reach certain heights and grow and become this different person and become a better version of yourself and become stronger, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever the case is, you cannot do it on a basis of doing it because you owe someone or somebody owes you something. We live in a world where people feel entitled. We live in a world where people feel like the world owes them that job. I work hard. I went to graduate school, so I deserve that job. The world owes me that job. The world doesn't owe you shit. And I guarantee you that if you take that attitude, you're not going to get anything either. Because nobody likes an entitled person. Nobody does. And we have a lot of them. A lot of young kids are entitled, and it's just hard to watch. If you get past the mindset that people owe you stuff and you flip it and you reframe it, the only person you owe is yourself. You don't owe anybody else. Nobody else owes you anything. But you owe it to yourself to work hard, shoot for specific goals, not make excuses, don't say one thing and do another. Do what you said you were going to do. Do what you set out to do, but not for the recognition, right? Not for the recognition. And the only way these awesome things are going to happen to you is if you get up before everybody else and you stay up later before everybody else or after everybody else, and you put the time in day after day and consistently. All right, I checked this podcast yesterday. People are listening to it, but it's still new. I can't expect everyone to listen to the podcast because it's only 6 episodes in. But I'm going to keep putting them up, and I'm going to keep talking to people, and I'm going to keep telling people my struggles, and I'm going to keep helping people deal with similar struggles that I've been through, that I can help walk them through. I'm going to keep doing that because it makes me happy. And I wish I had somebody to help me when I first got out of college, failed out of college, was finding my way in the gym, was building my business. So if I could do that for somebody else, even if it's one person that listens a day, I don't care. I don't care. 1 is better than 0. It's all about how you reframe the situation. Think about that. So don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. That's all I got, guys. Rant over. If you haven't followed me on the podcast yet, if you haven't subscribed, go check it out once again on iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, or Anchor. I'm on all of those media streams as well as YouTube. This is on YouTube as a video. Go check it out. Subscribe. Check out the podcast blog, beastlife247.com. All the episodes are up there as well. And check out my training blog for guys, jerseybeast.tv. My goal is to help guys who are struggling better themselves. And in my eyes, it all starts in the gym. If you're not working out, you should be. Challenge yourself physically. Challenge yourself, even if you don't like it. I guarantee you that if you stick with training for 3 weeks or a month, and you get past that initial month, you're going to fall in love with it because of what it's going to do for your confidence, what it's going to do to your body, what it's going to do, to other people's perception of you. As shitty as that sounds, when I started working out, people started treating me different. That's a bad thing to say, but it's the truth. But it will boost your confidence. It will help you get stronger physically, mentally, emotionally, and there ain't nothing like lifting some weights. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Check out the sites. And I will see you guys in the next episode.